Probably skin first and just say your process pretty much.
Yeah, we're gonna go over skinning today. Show you how to do it. Everybody has their own way of doing it. So if you don't like my way, do it your own. Right here, we're gonna go ahead and start. Cut the skin up and around where you have the deer hooked up. You got a lot of tendons in here, so it personally doesn't matter to me if you kind of cut through them a little bit. The biggest thing to watch out for is your tendon back here, because that's what's supporting your deer. So you want to be real gentle when you're cutting skin around this. Sometimes you want to pull out your little finesse knife, get in there a little bit easier. Good sharp knife is key to skinning a deer. So, as you can see, got that tendon exposed right there. We're going to come on this side. We're going to do the exact same thing. Alright, you can cut it off. You can pause that. Good? Alright, so get in a little closer. You can see this is that tendon where you're going to cut here where your hook's holding through. Like I said, don't cut through that or your deer's going to fall. You're going to be cleaning from the ground. So you want to get your knife with the gut hook right here. You're going to come through on this leg, get underneath this skin, and you're going to pull all the way down to the front of the deer. Alright, then you're going to take it, get that fur out of there. You're not going to cut as easy. Same concept on this side. You don't want to go too deep, and that skin starts to get a little loose, but if you go too deep on it, you're just going to cut right through your meat, all down on those back quarters. Bring that down to a V shape so you can connect right there. You're good to go. You're done with your gut hook. Go ahead and plop that back in the old overalls. Take out your blade, fillet knife, whatever you want to use. Sharp, good knife. Come through. You'll see this filament right here is going to be what's connecting the skin all the way around on the entire deer. So you just take it real gentle. It doesn't take very much pressure. You're going to just slide that through all the way down. You really want to try and avoid cutting into the meat. It does happen time to time. I'm not perfect. Haven't met anybody that is, so we'll just make our way. Coming through, pinch the end of that skin. You're going to want to come in, like I said, and just keep cutting all the way around until you get the skin pretty much done on the back side of this deer. So there's a cool little trick I'm going to show you when we get to it. I'd say it works about a good 70 to 80% of the time. Sometimes it doesn't. Just depends on the day, how the deer wants to cooperate. Back here on these tendons again, you're going to want to be careful not to cut that tendon. Come back, deer wants to swing on you, just muscle it down a little bit. Here, let's try to get on this side. See, she's pretty fresh. That meat's still kind of twitching a little bit. Like I said, nobody's perfect. Nicked her a little bit. The back end is where it kind of gets to be a little challenging sometimes, because that meat's so tight around these gluteus maximus muscles. Like I said, just get it down, get that skin off, just keep cutting through until you get it all the way around to the back of her. Trying to do it at a weird angle so everybody can see. Promise I know what I'm doing.
Sound effects are free.
Sound effects are free. So like I said, you're going to come in through here. You're going to see a little bit of muscle kind of attached to the skin right there. We're not too worried about that. Like I said, you just want to mainly get the skin broken away from the deer. And on these this back end right here, you're going to want to pull. Just grab a, you can even take a little slit if you're not going to save the skin, get it tanned, and pull And this will really help you from cutting into that meat around the back end of it.
Especially around the butt. Makes it
grip.
30 times easier. Right there.
There's our asshole.
The ass is the hardest part.
So what I like to do, you get that kind of ripped out right there. I'm just going to come through and cut. And there's a tailbone right there. Perfect. Pulls right off. Now, I will say, that is the first and only time that's ever worked for me without having to cut through the tailbone. And then from there, just yank until you get most of the hide taken off.
This was a doe, so you're not going to do that.
We're trying to avoid showing you where the exit wound is. You want to come down on these front quarters right here. Grab your wife's favorite pair of lopping shears. Just crunch through that bone. You don't need to go at the joint because this is all tendons down here. So you just want to crack that bone open. Come through where you sliced. Cut that front leg off. Like I said, if you're gonna do this with a buck or do a mount on the deer, you're gonna want to take a different approach. When we get a,
Good.
So, can't show you the entire getting the intestines out process. What I can show you is a few little tricks that I like to do. So right up here, you can feel how tight this little cross section is. You're gonna make your first slit right in there. That's gonna open up into your gut sac. From here, you'll take a 2-finger rule, put that gut hook in between and pull towards yourself. That way when you go down, you're not getting any guts. Another thing that you can do that I would recommend, it helps a lot, unless you hang your deer the other way, is kind of cut open right here. You got that front of the rib cage coming down. So, like I said, everybody's different. See my locking shears? Oh, right. In. Come through. You're gonna want to crack open the front. Get down through that rib cage. That's gonna split your deer open and makes the gutting process so much easier.
Now, why could you go with that there?
Do what?
Why are you doing that there?
So, the reason I'm not too worried about this right here, all your vitals are going to be up here. Your guts, intestines, everything else that you don't want to spoil the meat is kind of separated right here at the rib cage. Go through here, split that, so when you come and split this, it's just a few little internal linings that you cut, the guts flop right out. If you don't, rib cage is going to hold everything in there. It's kind of a pain in the neck.
So you obviously can't do that up there because you'll hit a gut and poop and all the nasty stuff is going to get on your meat.
So we'll keep recording for another platform we can post this on as educational video. But for all the other platforms, next part you're going to see is quartering. Like I said, pull, come towards yourself, get down to here, then boom, you're open right up. So with this one, you're going to get your handy dandy knife out. You're going to be real careful. So here's your bladder, a bunch of pee all up in there. When it come through, kind of cut back a little bit right here. See that lining holding it in? Coming up, you're going to want to watch your tenderloins. These are your tenderloins hiding back in here. So, like I said, just kind of carve it up a little bit. Nothing too crazy. Get in through there. And then you're going to have to cut out the butthole. This is one of those things. You're going to come right here.
Wait.
So, right here, this is cutting out the anal cavity, whatever term you want to call it. They do have multiple different tools you can use. I've always grown up doing this way. Grab your fillet knife, long knife. You're going to want to come in. You're going to see the connective tissue up in here. You're going to take that blade and you're going to run it through. You can reach through this backside and you're going to want to just kind of hollow everything out. You want to follow that bone and just kind of cut through and just keep that knife on the edge of the bone. So if you look up in here, you can see this is all coming down, all that connective tissue. Once you cut it out, all through here, you got bone, bone, bone. You're gonna cut all that down. What that's gonna do is that's gonna take the urethra with the bladder down, so you don't get any of that urine on your deer meat itself. You really don't want to get that urine on your tenderloins. As you can see in here, as you kind of cut through, cut down, peel back, you've got your tenderloins hiding right here. You're going to start getting into this intestinal cavity right here. So, to continue, you're going to see your intestinal lining right here. Just going to kind of cut that out, run that knife through there, and this coming right down here is what's holding the guts in. Remember what I said? Go down through here. You've got that sac that's protecting your vitals. So you've got your liver, your lungs, your heart, all the other stuff up in here. So that's why I felt comfortable chopping through it. You're going to come through, go all the way down. Just cut this lining down on the sides of the rib cage. And, you know, it's all just going to eventually come falling out. It's kind of a little tedious. You'll have certain areas that'll hold you up, but for the most part, it's just getting that knife down in there, cutting through that esophagus. And
if you're doing it by yourself, most of the kits come with a rib opener deal.
There you go. That is a fully skinned and gutted deer. Also, take the head off. Keep the head with you, as the game warden reminds me with a fancy new ticket. So, going through here, we're... Alright, so now we're going to show the process of how I quarter it, get it ready. I take it to the processor. I'm not going to process it myself, just because I take too many deer out a year. I don't have the time to do it. You're going to come up on these front quarters. On the inside of them, you're going to see a little bit of connective tissue. Like I said, you're just going to slice through this here, and that quarter is actually going to tell you where it wants to come off. So you can see with it moving, the bones and the blade, you're going to come up through here. You're going to cut. You can see that shoulder blade coming through right here. Like I said, just keep cutting around. The muscle's going to show you where it wants to come apart. This thing's kind of moving around on me. You hold it still on the top. It can be a pain, but we'll come in through here. Like I said, just cut through. You're going to see a lot of this, like when we were skinning it. You're going to come down, follow all that. Your butcher might hate me for showing you how I do it, because he might not like it. But I like to come through and kind of grab some of this meat that's hanging on to the outside of the rib cage itself as well. So I'll take my knife, just run it through. Try not to waste anything on these deer. Come through right there on your shoulder blade. You can see this connective tissue holding it together. Quick little slice. And that front quarter's off into the quarter. Just repeat the process on this side as well. Like I said, you can see it's all connecting right up here to the rib cage. Slide that knife through underneath. Slide it up. That meat's going to come off right with it. You can use it for grind or whatever you want to do. It's all entirely up to you. But all this meat has tissue connecting it together. So like I said, it's going to show you where it wants to be cut. Doesn't take very much. Shouldn't be sawing through anything. That meat should just come off right by itself. And that's the 2 front quarters done with a little bit of meat on it. You got your back strap running right through here. Everybody does it a little bit different. I like to wait and come up here on your little fajita meat, little skirt steaks, kind of connecting the rib cage back to the hindquarters. So in here, like I said, it's going to tell you where it wants you to cut it. You can see where that meat's connecting. Going to come through, keep a little tension on it, let the knife do the work. Be real careful when you get into this area not to hit your back straps or your tenderloins. Like I said, keep a little tension on it. That meat's going to come off right where it wants to. Peel down. You can take the whole rib cage in or not. You can try to go through every little rib. I don't have time for that typically. So I'll come through right across that top rib. I'll hit that lining, come down, and just kind of peel back on it. And that meat's going to come right off. right where we want it. You're gonna just run that knife, smooth, easy work. You can wrap that up, do fajitas, grind, jerky, whatever you want to do. See, it comes through, runs through, you got your tenderloin running through, you got your back strap that are connected right there, and now you got all that meat hanging off right there. A lot of people will waste that, I've seen. Like I said, I like to eat the entire deer, not just the prize parts. So come through, be careful again, don't hit your tenderloins or your back strap. Run down, let the knife do the work. Follow that top rib, come down, let that meat kind of peel off. Like I said, there's 100 ways to skin a cat and to skin a deer. This is just one of my ways that I do it. Take that meat off, toss her in the cooler. So with these tenderloins, I'll come through, kind of clean up some of this fat. A lot of it'll peel off by hand. Not exactly sure what everything is that's in here. Just cut it out. Your tenderloins, you're going to be able to run your finger right through it, go all the way down. I'll come down here, run my blade just very easily right down through here. That tenderloin's holding right on the back of it. Come through where you see that fat, kind of cut down, get nice and in there on that tenderloin. And you're going to see there's another part of the tenderloin itself that looks like it should be connected, but in all actuality it's just a lot of tendons. So like I said, that meat's running down all through here. It's a very soft meat, so don't yank on it too hard because you will pull it apart. Just a little bit of pressure. You see where that inner muscle fat right there, connective tissues holding it together. Just run that knife real gentle right down the back of that spine. You're gonna come up, come down through here, come up. It's gonna connect right there into the hind quarter, and boom. That's how you get a tenderloin out. Very minimal cuts on it. Very good piece of meat. Don't drop that off with your processor unless you trust them, or you will not come back with it. Through there, like I said, you're gonna see this portion of it. Some people are gonna complain, oh, you need to get that out. It's a lot of tendons running right through here. You can get it out, do what you want with it, but mainly all tendons and silver skin running through that, in my opinion. Kind of tough to chew on, but entirely up to you. You can get that little piece out. You can see all that silver skin running through it. You're not really getting too much out of it. Same thing on this side. That fat is just going to peel off with your hands. Just run your fingers down right through here. This crease, you can separate it with your fingers. Go all the way down that tenderloin. Like I said, you can get it with your fingers. It's entirely up to you. It's a very, very soft muscle, so it will pull and shred apart on you very easily. So just run through right on the back side of the spine. You're gonna want to make sure you get just real finesse, fine, kind of make your way through it. Come up, 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 up. You can see where that's naturally separating right there. Come through, just keep running your knife. Let your knife do the work. Hold a little bit of tension on there. Keep pulling through till you get up to about right there into the back quarter. Bring your knife up towards the top. Pull it out. You got your second tenderloin. No cut marks on it. Very nice. I run it through a tenderizer. Do a chicken fried steak with them myself. You can do whatever you'd like. Entirely up to you. So on the back straps, you've got a huge thing of silver skin running all down the back of this. I personally will get my knife through this portion of skin. Makes it just so much easier to deal with. You just kind of run down and cut that out if you can. Like I said, everybody's different. All depends on what you're going to do with that back strap and the meat you're taking off the deer. So you'll see right through here on the deer where the rib cage is going to meet that back strap, you'll see this line of fat going down when you get all that meat off the top side of the rib cage. And take your knife, follow that down, hold the bones, you're good to go. Keep coming through. You're gonna see that back strap holding right there onto those backside of that rib. Run it down. Just run that knife down like if you were filleting a fish. So this back strap's gonna run all the way up into the neck, and you're gonna have little bits of meat coming onto it right here. Just kind of pull it apart. Like
We're gonna pause. Yep.
Alright, so we got the back strap up to here. You're getting into the neck and all that interconnected tissue. Like I said, I like to take this up as far as the neck as I can go. Kind of cut this meat off. This is all good hamburger grind, chili meat. Get about a couple pounds off the neck. A lot of people tend to waste. And then you're back into action with your back strap. You can see it running through here. Coming up, you actually have a couple different muscles hanging onto this. So like I said, just run that knife right up the back side of that spine. Try not to cut into the back strap itself. Take that fillet knife and just run it up. And then when you get over here, you're gonna run right on the back side of that spine. You're gonna run that knife all the way up. That interconnected tissue is just too easy to separate. If you're fighting the back strap, you're doing it wrong. It should be, for the most part, pretty simple. And you're gonna come up, hold that back strap up, and just work your way up the back side of this. You can see where that muscle is right there. I mean, you can use your finger and knock all that out. Run that knife all the way up through there. I like to get up right into the hind quarter, come through here, kind of come up just a little bit. Work your knife through there. Get through that. Like I said, it looks a little difficult, but I'm just trying to follow that bone. You follow that bone and you'll get some nice steaks out of this back strap. Again, one of those things I don't recommend dropping off with your local processor unless you know the guy and they're going to give it back to you. And you're going to repeat this process on the other side. No difference, exact same thing. We'll get back to you when we get the quarters. But right there, boom, bam, good to go. Nice healthy back strap. When you take it home, so depending on what you want to do with your back strap, you've got this huge thing of silver skin running all over the top of it, going all the way down. Everybody does it a little different. If you're going to take it home, this is kind of how I do it. I've always done it. Get a good starting point on that silver skin, and then I like to turn mine over, put my knife on that silver skin, get a good grip on it, and just run my blade down all the way down. Peel that silver skin right off. You're gonna have a little cleanup, little area to do it, but like I said, that blade's gonna run right with that tough skin. Not gonna render down. It's gonna be real chewy. You're not gonna like the end result of your steak if you're trying to chew on that for a while. And you'll just take this, cut it into however many steaks you want. If you turn this into ground beef or jerky, may the Lord forgive you. So on these hindquarters right here, you're gonna want to hit right in between that. You're gonna shove your knife through there, work its way right through there. That's gonna cut right through that spine. Make it real easy to just pop this off of that deer. Work your knife through. You don't need a saw or anything. It just cuts right through the back of that spinal cord. You can actually take your handy dandy sawzall, lopping shears, whatever the case is. You're gonna cut through this bone up here. You don't need to go all the way up. I would do it right here, kind of cut through the meat a little bit so it doesn't tear it up. Get to where you're right at the bone on both sides of that. Like I said, be real careful with this tendon for right now, because that is what's holding your deer carcass up. And then we'll take our, sorry it's a little dark out here, the evening hunt. We'll take our handy dandy lopping shears, take it right through here, and crack right through that bone. And if you're lucky, you'll have some tendon holding it up for you so your whole deer doesn't fall. There you go. From there, it is a little heavy, so position your cooler right underneath that deer. All you need is a knife from this point on. Got the tendon holding it here, tendon holding it here. Take, crack, crack. See? Then you're done. Lop those legs off on both sides. Come down. Wham. Now you got your entire hind quarter. You're not messing up any of the hams, anything like that. Your butcher, who does this on a daily basis, is going to be able to get everything you want off of that. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how I skin and quarter a deer. You can do it your way.
By.
If you got any tips, tricks, or anything you want to show me, let me know. If you want to hate on it, I really don't care. Don't waste your time. But other than that, have a good day, and we'll show you some more hunting tips and tricks along the way.
Go ahead and subscribe. Give us some comments. See what you guys think. Helped you out or not. Helped me out a lot. I've only been hunting a couple years, but he's been
doing it quite a while.
Guys out and let us know what if you guys want anything else. Out here in Central Texas, it's almost over for deer season, so we got a lot of recipes for the pit boss he could do for you guys, or we could do some hog hunting later on in the season, and turkey or even coyote hunting.
Yeah, we're gonna work through a bunch of different species, pretty much anything we get an opportunity on. Hopefully plenty of pigs. That's a no-brainer down here in South Texas. We could probably go about 5 minutes into the woods right there and go find a few of them. We're gonna hopefully try to get an elk hunt scheduled up. Colorado, anybody have any opportunities, let us know. If not, we're gonna kind of do our own thing up there, maybe for a week. We'll get a cool setup out there, do some all-dad hunting, turkey, hopefully target one of these 12-point bucks we've been seeing out here. Show you how to do a video on skinning that, getting it ready for the taxidermist versus what you just saw. That's a quick little, got to get back to the house, get it to the processor, want to get it out of the field. But
all right.
Other than that, we'll
there's not too many
comments, and read some comments, see what y'all say, what y'all want to know, what y'all want to learn.
Not too many videos out there that actually details the stuff, so that's why I told them let's do it. And maybe you gotta cut that. All right, let me think. What was I gonna say? So if you guys want, we could put it up. I mean, I did shake at the shooting part,
it's
but
a 30-06, so
yeah, so the deer went straight down. But if you guys want the little B-roll and then the hitting of the deer and then bringing it out here, let us know on the comments. But other than that,
we might get an idea out there of a In the Blind podcast, where we get that set up. We're usually out there for an hour or two. The evening ones will be a little bit more fun. There'll be some debauchery, some drinking, and some hunting. The mornings, you're going to hear a lot of heavy breathing, regret, why were we up so early, and we'll get some GoPro footage of the dark walk to the blind, too, if we sit in separate
we got to
blinds.
get some GoPros, get some better angles. We got a couple of little shorts on there of us hitting a couple hogs. We're going to probably get some GoPros, put it on the feeder, and then get those like slow-mos, just smack.
Yeah, we got some 200-pounders out here that need to go. So other than that, thanks for watching.
Adios, Outlaw Boys. Out.